Do I have self-esteem? How to spot low self-esteem in someone else? These are the questions that I get asked all the time by my clients as well as by people in general. Having low self-esteem has huge consequences on basically every area of our lives. It affects our relationships with our parents, partners, with our children, with our friends, relatives, co-workers, our boss, and so on. It affects how we earn and deal with money. It affects how we treat our body, and so on. So having a healthy self-esteem is kind of a big deal. That's why today I'll share with you 12 warning signs of having low self-esteem. Hi, I'm Katja. I'm a psychologist and psychotherapist from Slovenia, and I'm here to help you skyrocket your self-esteem. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. So how can you know if you have a healthy self-esteem and how to spot low self-esteem? Here are 12 warning signs of low self-esteem. The first sign is fearing conflict. If you have low self-esteem, chances are that you are terrified of conflict. You hate seeing people angry, sad, or disappointed, so you do everything in your power to avoid starting a conflict. This can lead you to not saying what's really on your mind, because you're afraid that others will disagree and that this will start a conflict. As a result, you feel like nobody really knows you. You can even feel deeply lonely because of it. Another one of low self-esteem signs is being a people pleaser. This is also one of the signs of no self-respect. People pleasers want to be liked by everyone, and they have great difficulty saying no. As a result, they say yes to everything and then they feel bad about it, or they use avoidance tactics instead of simply just saying no. I remember a client of mine who was a people pleaser. She wanted to be liked by everyone at work. She was new at her job and she really wanted to impress others. So every time somebody asked her for a favor, she said yes and she did the work that they asked her of. And at first it worked. She was really well liked and people were very grateful to her for doing them favors. But after a while, her co-workers got used to her always saying yes. They expected her to help them out, to do them favors. And they were constantly asking her to do some stuff, some work that nobody else liked doing. She soon started drowning in other people's work. And she soon started to feel used. And truth be told, she didn't feel any more liked because of it. Not only that, her co-workers got angry if she wanted to say no to the extra work. Another sign of low self-esteem is not expressing your true opinions. Remember in the movie Runaway Bride, where Julia Roberts realizes that she has no idea what kind of eggs she likes best. Every time she had a new boyfriend, she just liked the same kinds of eggs that he liked. She had no voice of her own. Not only did she not express her opinions and her taste, she herself had no idea what she liked. This is exactly what happens to so many people with low self-esteem. They mold themselves based on others. They don't express their opinions, their wants, their needs, and in time, they themselves might not know what they truly want or who they actually are. Another sign of low self-esteem is worrying what others think of you. If you have low self-esteem, chances are that you are often thinking about what others are thinking of you. You may be constantly thinking about yourself through the eyes of others. Most people I've treated with low self-esteem feel that others are being as critical of themselves as they are being critical of themselves in their mind. And as a result, they have a harder time just feeling relaxed and accepted, and they constantly feel judged by others. Another way to spot low self-esteem is not knowing how to respond to compliments. How do you respond to compliments? If you have low self-esteem, chances are that you don't really know how to respond to compliments. Let's look at a practical example. Let's say that somebody complimented your bag. If you have a healthy self-esteem, then your response might be something like, "Oh, thank you," or "Thanks, I like it too," or "Thanks, it's one of my favorites," and so on. If you have low self-esteem, on the other hand, you probably won't know how to respond to compliments. You'll probably try to reject the compliment. You'll say something like, "Oh, it's old," or "Oh, it was on sale," or "It has a stain right here, do you see?" So you'll try to minimalize the compliment. You might also try to minimalize the compliment in your mind. Let's say that somebody complimented you and said something nice about you. You might think something like, "Oh, if he really knew me, he wouldn't be saying that." So you try to erase the compliment, you try to minimalize it, and you don't really accept it. So this is one of the ways you can spot low self-esteem. So not accepting the compliment, but trying to minimalize it and trying to make it disappear. Another sign of low self-esteem is often feeling guilt and shame. If you have low self-esteem, chances are that you quickly feel guilty even for the things that are far from your fault or that are not even under your control. You often feel guilty when others feel bad and when you're unable to make them feel better. And you probably often feel shame as well. So you often feel like you're not enough. Another warning sign of having low self-esteem is also being too self-critical. I've made another video on how to stop the negative self-talk and how to develop positive self-talk. And if you want to check it out, I'll put the link down below. Another way how to spot low self-esteem is by paying attention to how you experience success. People with high self-esteem have a healthy sense of pride when they succeed. They feel good about themselves and they allow themselves to enjoy their success. People with low self-esteem, on the other hand, don't allow themselves to enjoy their success. They attribute their success to just luck and they downsize their role in it. They don't take time to celebrate it and they quickly move on to other things. At the same time, people with low self-esteem think their mistakes and failures are something horrible. This is another sign of having low self-esteem. So thinking that your mistakes mean something bad about you. So taking your mistakes as something very personal and then keep on thinking about your mistakes and not being able to let them go and forgive yourself for them. People with high self-esteem, on the other hand, know that mistakes and setbacks are just a part of life. They know that this is what makes them human. They are able to learn from their mistakes and then they also know how to let them go. And they know not to take them too personally. Another sign of low self-esteem is being a perfectionist. I often hear people brag about being a perfectionist. They say, "Oh, I'm such a perfectionist." But being a perfectionist is not a good thing. Being a perfectionist doesn't just mean that you have high standard. It means that you have so high standards that they are in fact impossible to achieve. Perfectionists often believe that they have to be perfect or that they have to do everything perfectly in order to be okay, in order to feel worthy. So when they set these impossible standards, they are of course unable to reach them because they are impossible. And when they don't reach their own impossible standards, they feel bad about themselves. So they're never able to feel satisfied about their work because they always find something that they could have done better. So as a result, they often feel like they're not good enough. If you're wondering, do I have low self-esteem? Think about the way you express anger. Do you shout? Do you throw things? Do you pout? Do you give the other person the silent treatment? People with low self-esteem often don't know how to express their anger in a healthy way. They either become too aggressive or they become passive-aggressive and resort to things such as ignoring or sarcasm and so on. I've done another video on silent treatment and especially how to end the silent treatment. And if you want to check it out, I'll put the link down below. So if you have low self-esteem, chances are that you don't know how to express anger in a healthy way. So this is another sign of low self-esteem. And the final sign of low self-esteem is not taking care of yourself. Think about the last few days and think about the things that you did for just yourself. In general, how do you take care of yourself? Do you actively take care of yourself? Do you take care of your body? Do you exercise? Do you rest? Do you eat lots of vegetables? Do you drink plenty of water? How do you take care of yourself emotionally? Do you make time for things that are important to you? Do you listen to your needs and your wants? Do you know how to cheer yourself up when you're feeling down? Do you know how to calm yourself when you're feeling upset? Do you know how to unplug when you're feeling stressed? Do you enjoy yourself? If your answers to these questions are mostly no, then I'm guessing you're not taking very good care of yourself. And perhaps it's time for that to change. So here it is, 12 signs of low self-esteem. So as we've said, the 12 signs are fearing conflicts, being a people pleaser, not expressing your true opinions, fearing what others are thinking about you, not knowing how to respond to compliments, feeling excessive guilt and shame, being overly critical of yourself, not enjoying your success and thinking that mistakes are something horrible, being a perfectionist, not knowing how to express anger in a healthy way, and not taking good care of yourself. And now the real question is, how can you improve low self-esteem? My next two videos that I'll publish in the following 2 weeks will give you the answer. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss it. Did you like this video? If you did, as I've said, please subscribe and please give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot. You are also very welcome to join my free Facebook group called Skyrocket Your Self-Esteem. I'll be very happy to see you there. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.